Welcome to our video guide on using Google My Maps for community mapping workshops. In this video, I'll guide you through how to leverage this free tool to engage community members in community mapping clinics. The Crossroads project used Google My Maps, an accessible platform which allows participants with varying technical skills to contribute their knowledge during a community mapping clinic. In this video, we'll cover everything from setting up your map to facilitating a community mapping clinic using the map, and then maintaining your community map as a living document. Let's begin by creating a new map in Google My Maps. First, navigate to mymaps.google.com. Once here, you'll be given the option on the upper right-hand corner to sign in, or if you have already signed in, it'll come up here as logged in. Once signed in, click the Create a New Map button in the upper left corner. Google My Maps will open with an untitled map. Click on Untitled Map in the upper left corner to give your map a meaningful name. For example, Community Resources Maps, followed by your community name. And you can also add a description that explains the map's purpose. This will help participants understand what they're contributing to. In this case, I'm going to put in Crossroads Project Community Mapping Clinic. And once you've done that, hit Save. Before using the tool, and especially before presenting it to young people, be sure to familiarize yourself with the tool and how to use it. On the left, you'll see your layers panel. This is where you can add new layers or add a layer for each participant. You can also share your map here, which we'll come back to later in the video. On the right is your mapping area. The toolbar at the top allows you to add markers, draw lines, measure distance, and more. For the Crossroad Community Mapping Clinics, we've created a spreadsheet to help organise and collect the necessary information. The spreadsheet is available alongside this video. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. This structure ensures we collect consistent information across all mapped locations. Community Mapping Clinic facilitators should familiarise themselves with this spreadsheet before sessions, and can either use it to compile information during the workshop or have participants fill it out directly themselves. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. It contains the following columns: a column for the name or title of the location or resource, a column for key mapping themes, which include gender equality, migration, access to education, and more, a column for categories, which include people, environment, transport, community facilities, and more, a column for subcategories, a column for potential issues or difficulties with the location, including socio-economic inequalities, pollution hotspots, transportation barriers, and more, a column for key strengths of the location, such as sustainability efforts, cultural inclusion, disability inclusion, educational access, and more, a column for the description of the resource or location, a column for the coordinates, which should be in latitude and longitude, and a column for a link to the photo or any photos of the location. Within this Excel sheet, we've also added an information tab down here on the bottom. Once you click on this tab, it'll bring you to instructions on how to use the columns and a breakdown of what should be included in each column. In particular, When inserting the coordinates, be sure to use the latitude and longitude coordinates. You can find these on Google Maps. Now let's look at importing existing data from a spreadsheet into Google My Maps. For this, I'm going to open up a spreadsheet already filled with information from a community mapping clinic. You can see the young people have identified the locations, inserted key themes, a category, a subcategory, identified an issue, identified strengths, in some cases multiple, included a description and the coordinates. We're going to return to Google My Maps. In the Layers panel, click on Import and select the Google spreadsheet. You'll need to navigate to the spreadsheet from your Google Drive or enter the URL directly in the search bar. In this case, I have mine open, ready to go. Once I click on it, I'll then click on Insert. I'll then identify which of the columns I want to use to identify the location on the My Maps. My Maps will ask you to choose which columns contain the location information. In our template spreadsheet, this is the coordinates column. Select this column, then select latitude, longitude, and click Continue. Next, you'll choose which column should be used for the marker titles. In our case, we select the Name column, as this contains the information of each resource or service. Once you've clicked the name, click Finish. After clicking Finish, your data points will appear on the map. If any locations couldn't be found, My Maps will notify you, and you'll need to review those entries for errors in the address information. Let's now look at creating and managing layers. Layers are essential for organising your community map effectively. Think of layers as transparent overlays that can be turned on or off to show different types of information. For community mapping, we recommend creating separate layers for each participant or group of participants. To create a new layer, click on Add a Layer in the Layers panel. You'll see a new layer has been created here. Rename each layer by clicking on Untitled Layer and entering the appropriate name. If you're adding in multiple spreadsheets, the layer name will automatically be the same name as the spreadsheet. Once your layers are set up, you can move items between layers by clicking and dragging them. You can use this feature to focus on specific community needs or resources during clinic activities. Customizing markers makes your map more intuitive and visually appealing. Let's customize our markers based on resource categories. Select a marker in one of your layers, then click on the Paint Bucket icon in the editing window. This opens the style options. You can change the icon to something representative of that location type. For example, use a fork and a knife icon for food resources or a red cross for health services. Markers become more valuable when they contain detailed information. Let's enhance our markers with rich content. Click on any marker to open its information card. Click the pencil icon to edit. Here you can add a detailed description of the service or the resource, photos by clicking the camera icon, contact information, operating hours, accessibility information, and website links by highlighting text and clicking the link icon. Some of this information has been pulled from our spreadsheet, but you can update them or add new information as time goes on. This detailed information transforms your map from a single location to a comprehensive community resource. For workshop settings, demonstrate how to add this information, and encourage your participants to be thorough when documenting community resources. After all, this community mapping is a tool that they can continue to use well beyond the remit of this community mapping clinic. Now let's discuss how to use this map during community mapping clinics. The tool can be utilised in two ways. One way is to input information directly into the spreadsheet, then import the information into the map for discussion. The second option is to create a map, share it with participants, and ask participants to insert the information throughout the mapping activity. Whichever option you choose, start with a brief demonstration of the map and spreadsheets and its features. Remember to allocate time to groups to share their discoveries with the entire clinic, fostering cross-community learning. For effective collaboration during and after the workshops, proper sharing is crucial. Whether you input information directly into the spreadsheet and then import the information into the map for discussion, or create a map, share with participants, and ask participants to insert the information throughout the mapping clinic, ensuring that participants can access the map is really important. To do so, we'll need to set up sharing permissions. Click the Share button in the left panel. For workshop settings, you'll typically want to select anyone with a link can edit. In this case, anyone with this link can view. Make sure that you click this to allow participants to contribute directly. You can always adjust these permissions later. To share this workshop with participants, you can click on this link here to copy and send it directly to participants, or during the workshop, display a QR code linking to the map for easy access for mobile devices. You can create this as a QR code using any free online QR code generator. The most important aspect of the community mapping clinic is not the technology, but the community engagement and knowledge sharing. Google My Maps is just one method of documenting the responses from a community mapping clinic. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at Blackwater Training and Consulting. Happy mapping!